breakfast, and we invited some speakers. So Alison Mitchell, Andy Triggs-Hodge, and Alistair Campbell, who's the principal dancer in the Royal Ballet.
Yeah.
And then obviously Alison Mitchell, who is a cricket broadcaster, woman, like, you know, a bit of a, how do you say, a groundbreaking woman in that space, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so she's, so they were on a panel, and they were just part of that breakfast. So Will and Andy knows each other well, and then when Andy, I think, was looking for trainers, they just spoke about something else, and he said, oh, Lindy, my wife, is doing the Stronger Connected. The Stronger Connected actually started last March, because I was quite fit at the time, and when it was lockdown, I was really nervous to think I'm not very.
We all were.
I have two really young children, so a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I always think, if you say to yourself, "Oh, I'm gonna quickly do a go for a run at 10 o'clock," or no, and then I'll do it over lunchtime, and then something comes up with the children, and I'll do it at 4 o'clock. So for me personally, if you don't actually have a date or like a time in the diary to do your workout, I end up postponing it, because there's 100 other things that comes up with, you know, having homeschooling, working, all of that. So I said to a few friends, like 5 friends, okay, we need to hold each other accountable. I will do a workout program every day, but we need to meet at 11 o'clock every day, and we need to work out together and be there.
Wow.
So I forced 5 of my friends into teaming up with me every day. And then, they just told their friends and their friends and their friends. And we had, a year later, we had about 80 people paying membership to access the recordings. And the reason why I think it just kind of grew was there was no camera crews, no video editing. It was just real life,
natural,
and in everything that comes with it, children running through the through the room, and Amazon deliveries, and builders in the garden, and you just do all at the same time.
And the sorry, and as you said, you don't want to turn this into a podcast, but just out of my curiosity, I wanted to ask this last question to you, and then please feel free to talk on if you want to. The 75-year-old.
Yeah.
You said it's from age 25 to 75.
Yeah.
Tell me about if you don't mind, about the 75-year-old.
So I think
who's involved in this? Yeah.
I kind of said 25 to 70 something.
Okay, 70.
Yeah, I think she's like just over 70. I went, but she is. So the whole thing about, and this is actually a really nice story, but the whole thing about Stronger Connected was that we ended up having, because of my UK South African connection, there was loads of expats that actually had real links and family back home. And for them, it was amazing to be able to log onto the screen, and they are doing a training, but their friends in South Africa are doing the same training. And you would see them literally logging on the screen and like waving at each other. And there was some connection,
Brilliant.
Some real loveliness about, even if you don't speak to each other, you see each other and you kind of understand that person is doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. And this lady was actually a friend of a friend of a friend in the UK. She lives in London, and she's about my age. So she signed up from Stronger Connect, and she then signed her mother up in South Africa. And her mum is a runner, but her mum has been religiously like doing these exercises.
Wow.
And you see them connecting on the screen, and they like, Liz comes up and she's like, "Hi, Mum." Hi. And then, you do the exercises, and it's really, that's why the connection, the Stronger Connected is like Stronger Connected in like physically, because of being fitter and stronger, but also Stronger Connected globally in terms of, friends, and even we would do it in the UK, and we have then people in Australia, they wake up to all the WhatsApp messages saying, how sore we are from yesterday's workout, and they then do the workout and they then feedback. So different time zones, and I don't know, it just really helped with feeling I think having real perspective throughout this year, to know that it's not just you in your own little home that is, that's worrying or that's struggling, but actually it brought real perspective that this is a global thing and we're all navigating our way through this space and time.
Absolutely.
And, it just feels like we're all in the same boat. And
and then it brings you back around to this. That's why this is so amazing as well, this event, because you're going to get people who are there, who are pushing themselves way beyond hard, and there's others who want to complete this as a personal challenge to themselves and to raise some money, and even actually to get themselves out of this, for want of a better word, the rut that we've been in over the last year and so.
Exactly. And I think that's where Andy and I kind of, because I haven't been, there's been kind of other opportunities to kind of, as a trainer, so I'm a physiotherapist by trade, really. I used to be, my previous career, I was a physio. But there was other opportunities for me to kind of either be a trainer for other platforms and things. But for me, it's so important that why we started this was not financial gain, it was connection, and it was support and connection, and just to stay fit in a time that being healthy is really important. And I wanted to carry on with those values, and I said to Andy, really straight up from the start, that if I'm going to be a trainer on the support page, I want to know that our values align, and I felt like it did, in what you guys are trying to achieve. I think it's amazing, and getting people globally involved in something that is making us stronger and fitter, but also that is connecting people, through all age groups and all walks of life. Yeah. So it's because of the values alignment with you guys that I thought it makes sense, and it's lovely.
So we look forward then to see that name stay connected moving forward, involved with LYR and so on.
It's really
hey.
So the 70-year-old, she is I think it's me, and then it's so there's a 65-year-old that is taking the baton over from me, and then so it kind of goes a bit, South Africa, the UK, but different ages and different times. One is planning to do the 9K in 48 minutes, and the other one is doing it in an hour and a half, a best case scenario. So we'll see.
And is everybody dressing in a costume?
Well, we just something red. So someone might have a red T-shirt or a red headband or red socks or a red whatever. Just in some way that when we put the video together, we look like a team of some sort.
Well, the best costume gets a prize from what I'm being told. So, maybe that
tutu will go with my red face.
Evolve it a bit, like develop the outfit a bit, maybe.
But just a huge well done to, I don't know what role you all are, loads of people running and cycling, and rowing. That's excellent. It's amazing. So well done to all of you for organising it. It's so brilliant.
That's amazing. You might be able to see Andy down there in the. Can you see him? He's at the
wheelchair.
Faster, Andy, faster.
How's it going, Lindy?
It's going well. What are you doing?
I'm hang on a minute, I'm getting across the road. Right, here we are. I have borrowed my mate's wheelchair, and his spare wheelchair, not his only one. That'd be bad. And he's I'm in the Power Avengers team.
Okay, good.
So I've joined.
Biceps doing?
Sorry?
How's your biceps doing?
The biceps, yeah. It's the arms are okay. It's the pads of my thumbs are absolutely exhausted. They're kind of doing the work my legs would normally do. So my poor little thumbs are struggling a little bit. But no, it's good. It's good. So tell it. Sorry, I just missed about your team. What was the name of your team again?
Stronger Connected.
That's just Stronger. Yeah. Okay. Good. Are you guys coming on for a session, or are you just coming? Are you coming to see what the Zoom channel's about?
Oh, well, I just I made a bit of a surprise entry, Andy, because I just clicked on the link to see what am I sending to my team members. And then I found myself in the middle of stuff and what looked like a serious discussion or like a and I've been here for a while now, so I probably need to go.
We've just recorded a full episode of pod show. Really, so if you want to download.
No, it's been lovely. It's been lovely to meet you all. So just quickly, so you guys are going to just be on here for the email set until 2:00, and then so every so often. And are you guys here to just say hello to people? And what is the goal of this?
What, do you want to answer that, Andy, or do you want me to go?
No, Lawrence, you go for it.
Yeah, it's actually what you want as well. It's there's going to be some people who are going to be here who are going to want some encouragement. There's going to be others who are going to be sharing their stories. We're here to tell you who we are and what we do as well. So it's kind of like a combination of all those. It isn't something that you're restricted to. It's like I use that word. I love using this word. I've been using it a lot. Organic, and there's a structure here. Obviously, we want you to come in here and feel like you're part of something special, which we believe this is. And then also you're again participating, pushing, challenging each other, and doing something with friends, family, work colleagues, whatever it might be. So, and as you can, so it's a combination of those things.
Are you hoping that some people, while they are running like these guys, sweating, might then go on Zoom while they're running?
Absolutely.
It would be great to have
absolutely.
people on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they want to, obviously, if they're comfortable with coming on. But we've set this up similar to you as you're staying connected. We have teams from, we're all host marshals, race marshals. Myself, Lawrence, Rob, who's on the bike, and two other coaches.
Now this Rob. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, so that Rob, who's cycling, is your marshal. So we've all got teams. So it's kind of our way of also connecting to our teams outside of the emails and stuff like that. But we've all we're LYR coaches. We've been here for a few years, so we've all got our own stories to be involved in LYR. So it's quite nice to be able to connect to all the different teams and all the different people.
Amazing. So what, in terms of the support, so there's this the Zoom that is live for kind of most of this week, and then there is the link that I got to upload our photos and our distances, and then there's the leaderboard where we can actually see as we upload it where we're going down the Thames. Yeah, is that and am I missing anything? Is that am I embracing all of what I can embrace in this race?
I think that's all the important links, but also just keep an eye out on all the social media sites that we have. And when you're on, just make sure, like if you're doing a post, make sure you tag in Race The Thames and London Youth Rowing, just so we can share your story as well and share about what you're doing, what charity and how you fundraised and stuff like that, just so we know your story and we just can help get it out there as well.
Okay, fab. Okay, I'll get Jessie, who's much more clever with social media. Jessie is my partner with the Stronger Connected, so I'll get her on the case to make a bit of noise this week.
Yeah, it would definitely be lovely to hear more about each team member and stuff like that, and we'll get sharing them around.
Yeah, I've prepped them to make sure they are prepared to do a little selfie, because I didn't quite plan this call. My husband's waiting for me. I need to be on a meeting. So I'm going to have to shoot. But it's really lovely. And yeah, thank you for having me.
You've been brilliant. You've been brilliant. Thank you. Look
Good luck on Saturday when you do your run.
Yeah, definitely. I'll go live and I'll be running through. There's like really lovely countryside, cows mooing, lambs. I'll show you.
In a bright red tutu as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'll make sure I get that in. Luckily, I'm going at 7:30 in the morning. I don't think loads of people is going to be awake. They're going to have to explain. Anyway, okay.
Look forward to seeing you then. See you Saturday morning.
Bye.
Bye.
Say hi to Will. Bye.
Well, good luck, Andy, and everybody else. Dave, good job.
Cheers. Bye.
Keep going, Andre.
Looking really good, Andre. Really good.
I'm having my break.
You're having your break, Rob.
How are you feeling up there, David? Feeling good? Can you talk?
I can try, Lawrence. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Cheers.
Good stuff. I was just testing.
Halfway today.
Nice. Are you running? Where are you? Just local, running around? Not anywhere specific in the park or on the?
No, I'm just going to Peckham Rye now. I'm going to do a lap of Peckham Rye.
Nice.
And then back home.
With the Race The Thames and LYR top.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Definitely
Sorry to interrupt your rhythm.
I'm grateful for the distraction, Lawrence.
Oh, good. Oh, really? Rob's decided to take a break, so good on you, Rob.
Yeah.
Suffice to say, yesterday's enthusiastic start is telling already. Never mind.
I'll be doing mine tomorrow or the day after. I'll be at the Emirates, just cycling around there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Andre, I've never met you, but I've been hearing. You look.
He's breaking 230 kilometers. He's working beyond that, so he's getting to the 240 kilometer.
240 kilometers.
Yeah. He's going really well.
Continuous.
Amazing.
That is mad.
Hey. We heard people doing the 72k straight. What, from Holland? It gets you from one end of the Thames to the other. I can tell you that.
And that is all that matters.
Check this out.
Is there anything else in life?
That is all. That's the only place that exists in the world right now, isn't it? Oh.
The sound of that wind. There you go.
That's my slipstream, Lawrence.
Yeah, it's
I think
amazing.
I'm going, you know?
Yeah. I was wondering, gosh, Davey's moving really fast.
If you were live tracking me, you wouldn't believe it.
Wow. Amazing. Great stuff. You ready to go again, Rob? Have you actually started your challenge?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you found a specific location that you're working at? Or you
I'm just doing laps of this straight of this long road, it's uphill and downhill.
Oh, nice.
I've done 6k so far.
Nice one.
So I think I've got about 3 more.
Good stuff.
3 more laps to do.
It's a shame we couldn't. Yeah, it's a shame we couldn't see you as moving as fast as David.
I know, David.
Andy, what about you, Andy? Are you in a park somewhere? Because I can see trees. I can't see anything too much surroundings.
I wish you could see the tiny little hill I'm on.
Oh, nice.
Just hang on.
Yeah,
Give
you
me
go.
about a minute, and I'll get to the top of this hill, and then I'll talk to you. And there's a speed bump.
No, you
halfway
carry
up
on.
it.
You carry on. You go.
It turns it. Oh.
I bet he's really going downhill. It's just,
All we ever hear, Lawrence, is that he's going to hell. It's not an Everest by now, I think. What's the base camp, Andy?
Now, David, I know you enjoyed it as much as I did that downhill I had the other day.
I'm going to cut the call when you get downhill.
Yeah.
18.
This is really impressive. There's so much different types of challenges going on here. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Really good. Rob on the cycle, Andre on the rowing machine, Andy on the wheelchairs, and David pushing it up Peckham Rye.
Oh.
Good. Really good to watch.
There we are. So where am I? I'm in a little park.
Oh, you really were going up?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It is. Oh, look. The problem is even a little hill is exhausting.
Yeah, I could imagine.
You count it as a hill. It's just like you're either going with, and if you're going on a flat road, they put a camber on it.
Yeah.
To let the water drain, which means you end up blowing one arm up. Or if you're going downhill, that's the only good point, but that lasts for about 30 seconds, unless you're going down Everest. It might last a bit longer, but you're always working hard in a wheelchair. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I know. I can imagine. Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, this is. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
And you're doing this. You're doing this the whole 7 days, aren't you? On the wheelchair. Yeah?
So I'll do each lunchtime in the wheelchair, and then I'll do some extra mileage on the ski erg. So this morning I did, I think, something like 9k, 8.5k on the ski erg, and then that'll be a good daily dose.
Nice one.
And has the chair got any adaptations or anything to make it a little bit more racing, or is it literally just a bog standard, like straight wheels and nothing else?
No, we have this tri-wheel at the front, so it kind of clips on.
Okay.
And that means you kind of, the front wheel is that thing rather than those things, if you can see that.
Yeah, I did. We just saw that. Yeah.
So that makes a huge difference, especially if you hit like a little pothole or something.
Can't tip over.
If I didn't have that thing, I'd be on my face all the time. It will be a nightmare. Yeah.
Did you do any practicing with that, or did you sort of like you went on there on an occasion, tried it out, and then just all right, it's ready to go now?
Yeah, I've been doing it most days last week. I had to have a bit of a break one day after I fell off the back of it and ended up on the floor in quite a bit of pain. One thing I discovered is actually how far back the centre of balance is. Oh, sorry, how far forward. But yeah, no, I've had a bit of practice. So my hands are sort of, the skin's toughening up, but the muscles, like in my hands, are still struggling to keep up. But it's good.
You can
I would recommend it as a. Sorry.
No, go on. You wouldn't recommend it as an
alternative to walking. It's definitely not. It's definitely not as good as legs, but
yeah,
it's not a bad alternative. But yeah,
it's a bit easier if someone's pushing you around in it, isn't it?
It kind of is, but that just doesn't happen. Mainly because, imagine being kind of, hang on a minute. It's like someone walking you by the hand.
Yeah.
All the way through. You like, it's,
You're not going to want that, are you?
It's, wheelchairs these days don't come with handles at the back because it's, independent life and all that.
Absolutely.
Gosh.
What I was going to say to you, you're used to the skin side of things, aren't you? Because you many years rowing, so getting your hat, you can cope with that. But the impact it has when you're having to grip it, it's going to be totally different, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's a different patch of skin than rowing. It's so these bits here. If you can see that.
Yeah, I know exactly what.
They just get, and then it's the muscle in there because you're kind of pushing against it all the time, and your thumbs just get, pretty tired. But it is
rewarding.
I'm glad I'm doing it.
Yeah, rewarding. a tough challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Rob, can you talk? How are you getting on? Oh, you can't talk. Nice. That means you're working hard. He just gave it a thumbs up there. I'll keep my mouth shut and just watch you guys doing your stuff.
I think we've got a team who's joined on.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Loretta?
Oh, yeah, this is the South African guys.
The champions rowing club.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. We can see them.
All right.
About to start our game, which is great news.
So I don't know if Jean is going to join us.
Not sure.
Join.
Try out.
So Jean is, for guys, if you guys don't know, how many of you guys know about rowing champions?
I'm their team marshal, so I know about them.
You know about them, good.
I don't know anything, so I'm all ears.
Share it, please.
Go on, Isabel, you go for it.
So they're a community club down in South Africa, and they have one rowing machine between them for us, which is amazing. I don't know too much about their history, but they are. I'm inspired by them just for them entering and being involved with us, and it's a massive thing. And there's 8 girls who are participating.
Yeah, so they're from a place called East London, which is on the West Cape, and all their kids are from the local. What is it? Township, I guess is the right word. And they sort of target all the kids from that side of town, and what the challenges of engaging with these kids into this program is their parents, they're sort of not just jobless, but they live in the township, and every image you expect of that. So they literally have no money, they don't have anything, and actually a lot of their parents are alcoholics and all sorts. I mean, it's a really dark situation, and they're trying to give these kids just a bit of something, driven and positive in their lives to try and keep them from slipping into that nasty cycle. So all these kids, they were saying they're trying to offer them food at the centre. They did have a program where they were giving food to the kids to take home, but then the people around them would then sell that food to buy alcohol or drugs with. So they actually decided to keep the food at the centre and feed them there. So it's an amazing thing they're doing. And the program they're running, these kids are actually going to the national championships and various events in rowing boats, fine boats, racing boats, and coming home with medals. So they're kind of showing their peers, their friends, actually what they can do. And when they bring that medal back, it's a major point of celebration. It's something really, really positive. So Champions Rowing is doing something really cool. And I think we've got them linked up with Mossbourne on Friday.
Oh, nice.
They're going to do a joint session together. But obviously that's a bit limited because they've only got one rowing machine. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but I know one of them will be on the rowing machine. I guess locally in the background doing something else. But yeah, it's a different planet. Sorry, I managed to find another hill.
That's good. This sounds. Let me get back to this. Listening to the work was all the more impressive.
Yeah.
Because you could have been walking just around the corner. Because from the angles that I can see of you, you could just be walking from one spot to another. 10 meters and back again.
Yeah, it's just no, it's real, man. It's real.
I could tell. David, you look like you're really enjoying that run. Not that you shouldn't, but you really look like you're enjoying it.
I'm glad I look like it, Lawrence. 10 minutes ago that was true, but I have to say it's beginning to bite a little right now.
Oh, wow. Get a nice lunch when you get back.
Hill, so that's all good.
Oh, good work. How long? Do you have a set time that you're going to do, or is it distance you go for more?
I'm doing about 9k today, hopefully.
Nice.
So that's the daily ration.
Nice one.
So yeah, I've been doing a 6k training loop Most of them have been dialing on with Andy and Tom over the last couple of weeks. It's a fair chunk further, but yeah, it's okay. We're getting there.
Yeah, good work. Good lockdown, COVID work.
Yeah.
Well, it does get you out and get you going, doesn't it? Good.
Yeah, really does. Well done. Here we go. Welcome. I know you can't speak right now, Lorette, but welcome.
She's doing a 9 kilometer row, and it's can't read. Barley is doing a 9 kilometer row on the rowing machine at the moment. She's just sent a message in our chat. So
yes, I've seen it. Yeah.
How are you doing, Rob?
Yeah, not bad. When Lawrence was calling me out, I was going uphill, so I couldn't speak.
You got to put the work in. Well done.
I've got a single speed, so the fires are burning.
Right. How far you gone?
I've done 9K. I've got about 2.5 more loops to do. I'm going to do half today. Do the other half.
Okay, so 15 today, 15 another day.
Yeah, probably tomorrow or Thursday.
Good work.
Yeah.
I love the smiles on the faces while everyone's working. It's great. This is really I'm looking forward to when I do mine tomorrow now. Even more so.
All right. You want to see the fast downhill stuff? Here we go.
Sorry, Andy, I didn't pick that bit up.
He's going down.
Let's get one of those. Woo!
Trouble is, I don't take my hands off to show you what's going on.
Yeah, but you could just do the sound.
Yeah.
Hold on, is that? I thought Rob was dancing there. He's just enjoying his. Okay, he's just moving from side to side. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, he was. Do that again. Do that. Here you go. Enjoying the challenge. That's what we want to see. Enjoying the challenge. Really good technique there, Valley. I know she can't hear me.
I'm loving her luminous gloves as well. They're very good.
Yeah, fantastic.
Great.
That's power there. Good work. Andre's looking relaxed and enjoying himself there. You are. You're looking brilliant. Amazing. Let's have a look at that monitor there. She's only got, was that just over 8K there? Or
She's doing 9 kilometers, so I think it's counting down. It must be. So she's done her first kilometer in.
good work.
Yeah.
Nice technique.
Definitely got a lot of stories to be able to tell our schools over in the UK. Thanks to Race the Thames, we'll be able to spread the word to all of our different schools that we're with, that we have the joy of working with.
Spreading the love. Oh, I've been told not to sing. Sorry.
I've just seen on the weather forecast as well, East London in South Africa is currently 23 degrees outside. So yeah, not only is she doing that rowing, that's warm.
Yeah.
That is good work.
Yeah.
23 or 33?
23.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any temperature is warm in the rowing machine, though. Once you
This is true.
Yeah.
it's warm.
That is it. The only time I've ever been cold on a row machine was when we were up in Sierra Nevada, and it was probably about -5.
Where was that? Where did you say that was?
Sierra Nevada.
Nevada.
We had all windows and doors open, and that's the only time I've ever been cold. Sierra Nevada. It's the mountains in South America, in South. but like up a mountain, it's 2K altitude. So yeah, it was like snowing and minus with all the windows open.
Wow.
Yeah, never get cold on a rowing machine. What was the last time you were on a rowing machine, Lewis? Lewis, oh my God, I just did
I'm glad you done it, Tony.
No,
yeah.
I can't believe it. What is going on? Seriously.
So I've got witnesses here now, haven't I? I've got witnesses. I'm Lewis. I bet you never call Lewis Lawrence. You know, I'll take it as a compliment. Lewis is a lovely guy, but I know it isn't that. You called me Lewis before you actually knew Lewis anyway. So you did call me. So I'll give you that. That's fine. I look like a Lewis anyway.
Lawrence, mate, you know where my heart is.
No, your heart. Yeah, there's love there.
My brain just doesn't connect sometimes.
No, you're fine, and you got the L in anyway. You know, it's like maybe we should just leave it at, L.
L. Yeah. Law. I need to keep calling you Law. That's
Law.
I think
that's affectionate. I like that. Isabel puts a double law in there, law, and I really feel it's love. I feel so loved when I hear my name mentioned in those terms, law or law.
Nice.
Even Rob's been doing that recently. So yeah. I'll take that. But anyway, to answer your question, and I know what you want to ask, when's the last time I've been on a rowing machine? I went into. There was a challenge that we were going to do at the Dots. I went down there with Rob, and Rob actually done the challenge, and it was only 100 meter sprint, and he killed it. And as soon as I saw him, I thought, "There's no way I'm going on there." he smashed it. So, but I have been cycling. So, although I've got a bit poorly, I have been cycling, and I will work hard over the next 3 days on my K challenges. That's part of my That's part of my distance that I'm doing with the team. I think we're doing just under 40 kilometers each.
Nice.
Yeah, so I will work really hard on that. The rowing, I love. Listen, you know me. I love the rowing. But if I'm going to do the challenge on the rowing machine, I'd have to do it in a relaxed way because of my lower back. I always talk about that, and I don't want to bore anybody who's listening to this. But
oh yeah.
But with regards to sitting on it and working, I love the rowing machine because it. Everybody knows it just does every single part of your body, your cardiovascular as well. So you can't beat it. So I'll always promote it. But when I come to do my exercises, I feel more like I can push myself more when I'm on a cycle.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm still looking at the bottom there. Well, on my screen it's at the bottom. Barley. I'm just maintaining the technique all the way through. Just really relaxed on the recovery. You know, like just really cool. Takes patience to do that in row. Not racing up and down the seat. Andy, I'll tell you what though, I'll go out in a boat with you because we were supposed to do that. A couple of things, but once the weather changes, if you're available,
we were supposed to do that.
Yeah, I'd love to say I've sat in a boat with
mate.
You. Yeah, I really would.
We need to do a session sometime. We'll get one of those scaries out.
Yes.
We'll get the Ada Salter going.
Yeah, you mentioned Broomhouse Stock and I ran away, didn't I? Which you said,
yeah.
I'm like, oh gosh, can't it be somewhere else?
Yeah.
Sure, I mean, I love the sites we work at, but that's the least favorite. But it's so daunting that site. For me anyway.
Really?
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna admit it. You know, Barn Elms, anywhere else I like it. But
just the pit, just the dock and
yeah, just not really feeling it. But if the team went in there,
the Broomhouse, it's
it is a bit daunting, isn't it? Let's be honest. It isn't as glamorous as the RDA or the Olympic Park or Surrey Quays or sorry if anybody's from Broomhouse Stock listening.
It is daunting, mate. Yeah, of course it is. That's what it's yeah.
Thank you for agreeing with me. Let me ask Si. Si, have you done any rowing? yourself?
No, I used to do a little bit in the gyms. I'm not a rower at all. So my wife is now a world rowing umpire. So I get tagged along to all of the exotic locations to go and see stuff. And yeah, there's only so much kind of sitting in the bar and watching kind of all the athletes go past you can do without thinking, I should really kind of get involved. and, which is very much how I feel sat here watching everybody doing all the stuff. I think I need to get out on my bike later on. But
it's inspirational. Yeah.
Oh, very much so. My wife's doing the challenge. So she's currently at work, and then in her breaks is walking laps around her building, which she's getting the mileage in that way. And she'll be hauling me along for a run later on as well. So at least I'll contribute in a small way.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's fantastic.
Brilliant.
Well, when your wife does those walks, or when you go for your run later, get a video for us, will you?
Yeah, too right. Yeah, I'll be able to record her and get her struggling.
That's the bit we want to see.
Oh, too right. Need a bit of sweat.
Sir Lawrence, or Law, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I got that right, didn't I? Eh?
Yeah, you did, 88. Yeah.
Was it about being? Was it? Maybe we should call you the Law. Is that better? That way you're feeling the love.
If you call me that, I'll take it as a big thing. Guys, one day, just to tell you this funny story, Andy might not remember it. We were at Henley Regatta, and I was walking, and we do that annually with the organisation. And I was walking through, and I was walking my wife next to me, and as we was walking up, I saw Andy with a few people, and then we looked at each other and said, and I pointed at him, I said, Andy, and he pointed back, Lawrence. And I don't know if you know that film Heathcliff and you know when you run to each other. That was so funny, and we just embraced it. That was such a lovely moment. Yeah, I thought I'd share that because I don't know if you actually remember that moment. That was great.
Mate, no, I do. It's the best thing about Henley Royal Regatta is Otway, and you're tucked away in the background, and you guys need to be at the front.
You know what when I really love it, in the sense that it's such a lovely day out, and you could take it, those. Sorry, there was a feedback here. When you arrive at the venue, you're like, whoa, this is really different and really cool. And I'm talking about my first experience of it as well, because we had a big tour around the museum. The first time I ever went there, around the museum, we had a great look there. It was just amazing. And where we're located, I actually like where we're located, but you're more familiar with Henley than I am. So I can understand why you might say that, if Andy might have disappeared for a minute, or he might have cut off. But yeah, sorry, it's I don't know if you've ever been in Henley. It's a really cool experience.
Yeah, I did. 2 years ago now was my first Henley. And the most surreal bit was we were in the campsite just over the other side of the course, and I've never been in a campsite quite like it. But everybody kind of thankfully there was no mud or anything like that. But coming out of their tents in the morning wearing the most amazing dresses and stuff like that, and yeah, bizarre. But yeah, so I got my insight into the world of Henley, and then hopefully next regatta I'm volunteering on that as well. They're trying to get me on the progress boards, which looks insane, but I think there's quite a knack to it. But yeah, I love the fact that instead of a big digital scoreboard, it is just those things being shifted along. Yeah, an amazing place. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, really cool. And the fashion as well.
Oh, too right. Yeah, exactly. You got to look the part.
Yeah, I love the style. Yeah, I like, when people come out and dressing up for the occasion. It's really cool. Striped jackets, nice top hats. Yeah.
There was one guy last year who wore a different. He was a friend of a friend. He wore a different suit every day, and one of them was covered in playing cards and everything like that. And it just looked, and it was just constantly crazy. He stuck out like a sore thumb, but he looked so cool. I was
wanted to stick out like a sore thumb. So he
exactly.
wanted to stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, don't blend in.
Izzy, you got anything about Henley? Or
about Henley?
Anything?
About anything. Well, I've been a few times to Henley. Back when I was a junior at LYR, I competed in a combination crew across different clubs of LYR at Henley Women's. So that was quite a while ago though, so I don't really talk about that very often.
Oh, you should. That's why I asked you. I wanted you to share that.
Yeah, so when I was 16, I competed in Henley Women's. It was quite, I don't really remember it too much, but I know that I did that. Other than that, we've had quite a few crews when I was helping out at Globe Rowing Club when they were linked in with LYR. And the boys got through to the Friday a couple of years back, which is the furthest they'd gone. And they were in the London New Throne boat, and that was really great to see. And I got to go and watch them, so I was very excited. And some of them are still rowing to this day, and it's great to know that they're still active. And then Globe Rowing Club, I know, are entered into Race The Thames, so it's great to see that they're getting their juniors back involved in fundraising for London New Throne.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hello. I just wanted to say hi to Andre, to be honest.
Yeah. He's been, well, I was just about to say he's been working, but anyway, so.
I'm working hard.
I thought he's here because I put it in the Marathon Rowing Facebook group, so.
When are you on though? Because I know you're doing amazing stuff as well, aren't you? When are you doing anything? Saturday. Back on.
Yeah. Saturday.
Say again, sorry.
Are you doing all of your distance on Saturday?
Yeah, one hit. That's the plan. Just turn my volume up. I can't hear a lot.
Yeah, that sounds much from my end anyway. Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah. Have you? So when you is he going to respond to you, or should I just keep out of it and let you guys communicate silently? Let you communicate silently.
Well, we've never met in real life, see?
Oh.
Well, we might have done, but not that I know of. It's one of those. If he was at the 2019 the last ring bar regatta, then I will have seen him there.
Give a thumbs up if you were, Andre, if you can hear. Could you hear? Were you?
We'll have to catch up when he's having his rest between his 10 kilometers.
Definitely.
Yeah, when he's finished his 10K, we'll try and grab him and have a quick chat.
It's a bit of a flying visit, I'm afraid. I am supposed to be doing some work.
A good way to sneak out of it.
The joys of being freelance.
We've been turning this into individual sort of like pod show today by podcast, sorry, by grabbing individuals and just focus on that, not intentionally. We're just having, there was a lady who came on earlier on and she didn't intend to be on here. She just wanted to find out about the Zoom, and she ended up being on there for about an hour. Talking to us about it, which was brilliant because she spoke about the organization that she started up called Stay Connected and how they came together and what they'll be doing, and they're on Saturday. So that was really cool to talk to her about. But for her, it was so random, but she was so embraced it. It was brilliant.
It's what you need, isn't it?
It's absolutely interacting with each other.
Definitely.
I've got my colleague Rob. You might be able to see him there. He's I don't know how he's feeling now. I just want to hear if he can speak. Can you speak? Let me see how you interrupted you.
Gloves are coming off.
Yeah. How you getting on, Rob? Yeah. What we're gonna do, I should say, wait for you to finish, and then we'll talk to you after, because the win is disrupting what you've been trying to say to us. Yeah? So we'll talk to you after.
Can you mute me?
Can you hear me, Rob? Yeah, if you can mute yours, and then we'll talk to you when you finish yours, so you can just tell us how you feel after. Nice one. Andy's frozen.
It's all right. Right, so let's have a bit of a chat about London New Throne.
Yeah.
What's one of your favourite memories that you've had? Share it with everyone, considering they're doing their massive event and half the money that their fundraising is going towards all the great work we've been doing.
So many, and that's such an easy thing today, but so many. When I first started that, my brief, well, not my brief, there was funding from the mayor's office to work with youth clubs, and it was getting into in and around inner city London and engaging young people and introduce them to a new sport of rowing. And obviously, obviously, I've said it obviously, but it is obvious that they wouldn't have had these opportunities in the past. So what you'd find me in youth clubs 7-8 o'clock at night, setting up rowing machines, getting groups of young people, boys and girls, and letting them know this is what we have for you tonight. And then once you get the curiosity up, obviously, as young people, at first, we don't want to row, we want to play football, we want to play hockey, we want to play netball. And so working from that angle and then getting them to participate in a new sport, and even rowing, it being a rowing machine, and not at that time, a lot of the schools that organisations I'd worked with, they didn't have any rowing equipment there. They might have not seen one before, but they've never used it before. So the transition then from there was to see if we can get them to get on water, and that was one of my highlights. And I shared this story a lot. There was one youngster. He's a 16-year-old African boy. And he was amazing. He fell in the water a couple of times when we took him on water, and then he came back up and I said, "You are going back on, aren't you?" He said, "Yeah." So I put him in the boat, but I said, "I'm not going to let you go out and row though. What we're going to do, we're going to sit you in the boat, and we're going to go through the technical side of rowing, blade positioning, posture, so on and so forth." So we done that, and we done that for the final 15 minutes of the session. And he got out of the boat after. He came up to me and he looked at me and he said, "Coach, thank you for that. Can I give you a hug?" Now, that was one of the great stories, but there's millions of stories. There's so many stories. And I work in schools, but I, as I said, focus a lot in youth clubs. And in schools, when you go into school, generally, you have to do as you're told to do. So if we're although a lot of our lessons or sessions are outside extracurricular, there are times that we do taster sessions during lessons, and you have to do that as young people. In youth clubs, you have a choice. You have a choice as to whether you do it or not. So to see the results of going into these organizations, and then, getting multiple organizations take part in these activities, whether it be at the Olympic Park, whether it be at the Royal Docks, which is near City Airport, whether it be in Chiswick, which was another site, whether it be in Surrey Quays. These are all the different sites that we work at, and just to go there and just to be part of that with young people involved, it's just really inspirational, because my background isn't rowing. My background prior to working with London Youth Rowing was working with young people. And prior to that, it was in sales, retail management, and I wanted to work with young people. So moving through different organisations where I was doing different type of sports stuff and coming into London Youth Rowing, that opened my eyes up as well. But I was fortunate because I was always into rowing, because we were good at it as GB. Steve Redgrave, Sir Steve Redgrave, guys. Always followed it. Even before I met Andrew Church, I knew how good he was and I enjoyed it. It wasn't my number one sport, but I followed it because we were good at it in the Olympics. So I had an understanding of it. But working in it, it's amazing. There was another thing, is he asking the question. There was one of the other site that we used to do up in Clapton. And I remember going into that site, and there was a coach there, and he was about 70 odd, and he said to me, and I was talking to him about what school I went to in Hackney, and I said, "Oh, I used to go up to Nurse." He said, "No, we used to go there with rowing." I said, "No, you didn't." He said, "No, we did." I said, "No, you didn't." And then I stopped. I said, "No, my apologies. You probably did." But we didn't. As young kids from the background that I came from, and that isn't a negative, but in the thing where we didn't get to do these sports, but we wouldn't be looking to do rowing and stuff like that. That wasn't of interest to us. Football was of interest to us. Cricket was of interest to us. Athletics was of interest to us. So I said, you probably were. You probably got a couple of the young people there who just for whatever reason wanted to do rowing at that time. But I never knew any of those young people. It's only now as evolved, growing up as an adult and then going into the schools and then seeing how much obviously it benefits young people in many ways, but to see the reaction that they get from it when they come out onto water and they tell you they can't do it, and then you look at them and say, no, but you can. Well, no, I can't. Well, no, yes, you can, because why if I could do it, why can't you do it? And then they get in the boat, and then we see them excelling all the every week. I could tell you millions of stories. Many more stories. Great stories. Kids, we get them in a session on water on a Monday, and none of them, they're scared of the water, don't want to row. The next day, they're in a double with another child they've never met. So these type of experiences have been amazing. I'll let Isabel share something with you, because I'm sure she's got hundreds, and I can even find some more, but I don't want to bore you with not that I would.
That's amazing. I'm very impressed.
No, with me talking, I don't want to bore you. Not the stories are amazing. I just don't want to talk all the time.
Listen to you for hours.
No, I could listen to myself as well. That's why I better hold back and let Isabel talk.
Hey, I guess my story starts from a bit further back than law. I'm actually an LYR junior. I learned to row through London Youth Rowing about 13 years ago now. So they came to my school, they put rowing machines in it, and they said sit on it. So I did. I enjoyed it quite a lot. And kind of the rest is history. I joined Globe Rowing Club, stayed with them until I went off to university, did a sports science degree, and came back, and I'm now full-time, have been for the past 4 years. So I've basically done the full circle. I link into a lot of different coaches who have been around. I found out the other day that when I was 18, I volunteered during the summer, and Lawrence was there, and we were completely oblivious to that, but we've been working together for 4 years. I found a picture, which I still need to re-find to send it to Lord, so he believes me. So I've got a history with it, really, and it's lovely to know that there's so many people who are joining Race the Thames and coming to support us and what we do, because we don't do it because it's a job, we do it because we love it. I definitely have quite a few different stories about like schools. I was lucky enough to be able to be based in all the schools near my house. So I was in boroughs that aren't far from me, and you can really link in and relate to all the students that you're managing to see. And my main base for water sessions was Surrey Quays. We definitely had quite a few swimmers when they went out and practiced in their singles, but once they got comfortable, you couldn't get them off. There's definitely quite a few different sessions we've had that I've got strong memories about, and being involved and having them enjoy it. And I've got a really strong relationship with water. I think when you're near there, you're quite it relaxes me completely, and I'm in a more relaxed state, and I kind of reflect a bit more. So being able to give that to students from across London is great, and I always enjoy being involved and having all of our different sessions. And I've recently gone over to Mossbourne Rowing Academy, so joining in with their coaching team there, Mr. Brighton and Mr. Wilkinson. Mr. Brighton was on earlier on the Zoom chat, so Andre would have met him. He's now one of my main colleagues, and it's great to see the kids over there. We're mainly based in Hackney, and just getting as many students as possible in that, and they're racing Race the Thames as we speak. I think they've got a few sessions going on to get their distances in as well. So it's great to be involved in London Youth Rowing. I can probably go on for a little bit longer than law about different stories, but there's a lot of history there, and it's inspiring to see everyone getting involved now. Massive fundraising event called Race the Thames that Andy has put on, and it's magic, I would call it. I love it. I think it's amazing, especially stories like Andre and Lucy coming through and champions rowing. It's great to see. Can we join in with Andre? How are you doing?
You want to take off mute, and Andre? You want to take your mute off?
Yeah, mute is off now.
Nice one.
Hello. How are you
Hello.
doing?
A little bit tired. Everything hurts, but it still goes well. So I think I will finish it.
What time? So are you on? That was your 24th 10 kilometers, right? So you're on 240.
230.
230. Amazing.
Yeah. Yes, I need 106 now. So
Amazing work. I'm
Yeah.
so impressed.
it is very tough now. If I sit, it's okay. But if I want to stand up, my lower back is
No back sore.
testing. So
Amazing effort.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, Andre, I think you were saying the longest you've done in one go was a marathon. So, what's that? 40 kilometers?
no, I did it 24
100.
hours.
He's done
24 hours. Sorry, that was it. Yes.
Yes.
24 hours, not 24 miles.
The maximum in 24 hours is 286.
So, in four
In
or 5 hours, you'll go through your record.
Yes, but in a longer time.
Yeah.
So,
But I think it's safe to say everyone here at London Youth Rowing and everyone who will be coming on to watch you this evening, I think will be giving you a big cheer as you achieve what is no doubt an absolutely incredible achievement. I don't know anyone else who has done anything like this.
yeah, I knew two guys from England, and they did the 1,000 kilometers in 4.5 days.
What, straight through? They must have been sleeping though, right?
Yes, we're sleeping, but 1,000 kilometers in 4.5 days. So it's still a lot of kilometers every day.
That is each.
Yes,
did
yes,
that?
yes.
Oh my goodness. Just trying to work that out. So that's
If you look
Two-
on the Concept 2 site, you see the ultra distance.
that is an ultra distance. But
Yes.
still, for someone who's doing this straight through with no sleep, I don't know, that bit to me is the bit that takes the biscuit. Just
Yes,
know.
but if you're on a party, you also do not get sleepy. And if
Said
you're
like it-
in front of the television, you fall asleep at 11 o'clock. So,
said like a true Dutchman. That's fantastic.
And if I go lay down, I think I will not sleep for 2 or 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah, really. I first have to rest my body. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah. We're all very, very, very impressed.
I'm speechless, believe it. And that's difficult.
Okay.
Andre, I think I might be wrong, but Lucy, did you want to say something or ask something or yeah?
Yeah, it'd just be nice to say hi, because I'm Lucy that put the Race the Thames on the Facebook Marathon Rowing group.
Yeah, okay, yes.
So it's my fault you feel like this. Sorry about
yes,
that.
you told me that you want to do it your own?
Yeah,
70
I'm doing
kilometers?
the 72.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But
So,
normally I do 21 times 24 hours every year. So I thought, no, make one stop more and let's try it. And for sure it is to do in 7 days. That's no problem.
you hoping to do much on the water this year?
Yes, the Ringvaart.
Yes, I'll see you there.
Yeah, okay. I go
Hopefully.
with my So,
Yeah. It's all
Yeah.
down to whether we're allowed to travel, but my entry is in. So
oh, nice. Okay. And how do you go? You in a skiff?
yeah, in the single.
Yeah, okay. I go in a double scull.
You'll pass me then, easy.
Yeah, I hope so. I try to do it in 10 hours.
Right. I've done it once before,
Yeah.
and I wanted to do less than 12, and I did 12 hours in about 2 minutes or something daft like that.
Okay.
I got held up at the lock, and you know that they stop the clock for the 45 minutes to get you through it.
Yeah.
And I got held up getting back in the boat. So I lost about 5 minutes there because my clock restarted and I hadn't got back in the boat yet.
Okay, yes.
So next year, less
it was
stopping.
okay. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, definitely no ice cream at the dam, the lock next year. Not doing that.
I do it for fun. So
Yes, why we all do it.
Yeah. This is nice with all the young rowers.
Yes, makes you feel like you're young again as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, no. The first 40 kilometers, they are very loudy. And after that, they get stiller and stiller. And you're still going.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah.
All the masters guys, all of us coming past them.
Yes. And they're struggling to go on the lake.
I can't actually.
Oh, the lake is the best bit.
Yeah, I know.
When you come back through the second time, and I remember sitting there in the single thinking, this is not singles water. This is like, I really should be sitting close to the bank here, but stuff it, I've done 80 odd K. I'm following that 8.
Yeah.
Rolling like this in a single, thinking this is not good, but I don't care. I want to finish now.
I use a
brilliant.
GPS, so I can follow the line.
Oh, brilliant. No, I was
Yes.
just following people, and if what you happen to follow happened to be bigger and could get through worse water, you're following it.
If they go wrong, you go wrong.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But you also did row with Martin in the boat?
No, we've just, I found the marathon rowing group.
Yes.
By accident, because I got talking, I can't even remember how I got talking to Martin now, but he found out that I was doing the Boston Marathon in this country regularly.
Yeah, okay.
Because I do that every year, because it's the only one there is. And I wanted to come over and do the Ringvaart, and I wanted to find out more about it because I needed to borrow a boat and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's how I got to know Martin, was through that. And then we met for the first time at the Ringvaart, at the last time that they ran the Ringvaart. So that was brilliant.
Yeah.
That's how we know each other, is entirely through, because in this country there isn't much marathon rowing.
Oh, there are a lot of here.
No,
you can do every weekend one.
I know. I'm really jealous, and I can't afford to travel enough to go and do them. Because it's just like over here, everybody thinks I'm weird because I'm doing marathon rowing and marathon training, and they don't know that there's a whole like world of it over there.
Yeah. And 11 cities. 11.
I'd love to do that, but because I have a disability, a handicap, I can only row in the single, and they won't let you do it in a single.
No.
So, but I gather now that they've had to stop it this year because of COVID. But they're talking about letting people do it in a skiff as a relay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but at their own.
Yeah. So I just need to find 3 other people, really, or 2 other people.
Yeah, okay.
I want to do that one. I really want to. The 11 cities is 2 days.
No, it's 1 day.
Is it 1 day?
24
Which is
hours.
the one that's 2 days?
I don't know.
There is. I'm sure there's one that's.
Yeah, you start at Friday at 8 o'clock.
Right.
And you have to be in at Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Right. So
24 hours. Yeah, it's 2 days, but fine go.
That's what I. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 200 kilometers.
Well, I did wonder if I do another Ringvaart, and do a good time, I thought I might get in touch with them and see if they can talk me, I can talk them into let me doing it in the skiff.
No.
But I don't think they will.
No.
I think
you have a lot of small bridges.
Yes.
You have to do your reams, your oars beside the boat and lay down. And if you do that in a skiff, you flip.
Well, there's, going to the start at Ringvaart, there's a narrow and low one, isn't there?
No, that's really big. if you look at 11 cities, it is
Right.
yeah, they are really small.
Because some of the ones on the Ringvaart that are low, because I can't lean back. If I lean back,
Yes.
I'll fall in. So I have to go forwards.
Forward.
instead.
Okay.
And you think, I daren't sit up because I don't know if I'm through, but I can't hear if I'm through. And they're so little. So,
Okay.
yeah, bit scary.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, then I see you at the Ringvaart this year.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed we can travel. So,
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
I ask Martin your starting number.
Rest. Yes. I'll put it in the group.
Okay, yes. Yeah, you can ask
And
Martin.
we
Yes.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I sorry, my apologies first of all in advance, yeah, because this has been really interesting and hearing you talk, and I just wanted to ask Jean something in a minute. But just before we do that, I wanted to ask you and just what you two just said. Lots of it stood out, but one of the things that stood out to me big time was you do all these challenges for fun.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to get that clear. That is amazing. that is amazing. I mean, okay, it's yeah.
For me, the best thing about going and doing the Ringvaart is actually getting to do marathons with other proper marathon rowers. And when everybody gets off at the end of the race and you all just stand there and you go, "Oh, that was hideous. That was awful. Wasn't it wonderful?" Because the worse the race is, the better the finish.
Wow.
That's what you do because of the finish.
Oh, wow.
Oh, thank you for that answer, Lucy. Might come back to both in a bit. What about you, Andre? Do you want to say something quickly?
No, I go start in the next 10 kilometers. Then I go the 100. So
Brilliant. Save your energy. Guys, thank you for so much for sharing.
Sorry.
That's okay.
What sort of time do you think you're going to finish?
I need 106, I think, between 11 and 12 hours.
Right. Okay.
I don't know what time it is now on your side.
1:30.
1:30.
1:30, okay.
So, right.
Look,
I'll have to try and drop back in. I want to see the finish.
Okay, I will log in at Zoom again then.
Okay. Brilliant.
Okay.
I'm glad you got to speak. It's really cool.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
okay.
Oh, no, cool. No, but you joined us, so you were there. You had the opportunity. So great stuff, and you got to sit. I wanted to ask Jane. Is it possible for you? Are you there? Available to talk? Oh, hi.
Yes, I'm here. Hi.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you very much. I was just one of my colleagues just said to me that you'd like to talk about champions. That'd be great. I mean, obviously, if you can share something with us.
I've just been having conversation now with the lady about trying to do this long distance marathon rowing. It's something we've never heard of before, so
stay on,
opening
Lucy.
up my eyes.
Well, she'll stay on for a minute and have a chat with you in a minute. Go on. You go on.
That's just something that we could possibly do in the future. I'm really interested in doing that. The children love to travel and the children love to learn new things. So going with rowing to do 11 cities in 2 days. Wow, that's amazing. Just to think that you could even do that. Oh.
I'm going to let Lucy respond to that because she's directing that at you, I think, aren't you, Jane?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. One thing I have noticed, and I don't know if it's true for all the marathons on the continent, is they don't have junior categories. But what they do, one that does, is the Boston Marathon in the UK. That has junior categories. It's the third weekend in September every year. And there's actually a school, QE, from a state school, QE from Hexham. They do it every year as a fundraiser to keep their own rowing program going.
Okay.
Get loads of people like that turn up. It's a nice, friendly race. Phil Lacker from Boston, that's like the regatta chair, is a lovely bloke, and they're really helpful. They'll lend boats, they'll, make sure they help you around the lock and all that kind of thing. It's a really good setup. So if you want to look that one up, and it is set to go ahead this year. And usually at that one, because I've done that a few years on the trot Phil has said now that apparently I will always be boat number one, because they always start me first because I have a disability. And to start with, they thought that I was going to be the slowest, but I've got faster and faster as time's gone on. But basically, Phil said that, so he tells me that if I don't do it one year, they just won't have a number one. And we're talking about starting me further down the starting order because I've got faster this year. So the starting order will go 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 6, 7. So that's the kind of thing they will do. You know, they're a really lovely bunch of people. What's the rowing club in the UK?
I'll have to look at them. Because we've done the long row on the water in winter. I rode that myself, which was 21 or 29 kilometers. That was the longest row that we have in South Africa.
Right.
And then the children have raced Port Alfred boat race, which is about the 8 kilometer race, or 6 in the girls' row, I think 6 kilometers. It might even be a 4 kilometer for the girls, but they did very, very well, and they enjoyed that, and they did that in the 8. So trying to find other opportunities, like I said yesterday, for the children when they get past 18 years old, is very difficult, because in South Africa, normally the children go into university, and from university, they pick them up for under 23 national squad to row. But when you are after school and you haven't got university entrance, and you're trying to work and try and find a club to belong to, especially the children from Duncan, to find membership fees and stuff to row with is quite difficult. So at Champions, we don't charge membership fees and stuff. We raise funds for every event that we go to, and for the racing fees, as well as for the affiliations that we have. We raise the funding for it when we need it. Like I said, we don't have a boat house as yet, or equipment. The only thing we have at the moment that's working is the one ergo that they're rowing on now. We also had a uniform that was sponsored and donated to us, so we're using that uniform to row in now as well. And the children range from different ages. We have sometimes children from the age of 8 up until the age of 20. So they've grown with us in the last 7 years, but Champions has only been officially going for the last two years. So we had an affiliation with another rowing club, which didn't really work out really well. We've had to experience a lot of discrimination, in a sense, which is not very fun and not really nice to have in rowing as such. But there are schools and clubs that believe that because they have money and equipment, that they are better than other people who don't. And we see that quite often as Champions, when we go out and we don't have boats, we don't have equipment, and we go out. And I've always said to the children, leave your anger and leave your temper and leave your aggression on the water. You put it on the water. When you get off the water, you've left your mark, you've left your stain. You know exactly who's champion and who's not by the recording of the race. When you get off the water, you become friends with people and you hug and you move on. And that's the way you get over your issues, and that's the way you deal with issues. You put them on the water. On the water, you're allowed to compete with people, and you can go out there and you do your best and you show people who's boss. So if you think you're a boss and you think you can be a champion, then go and show them. That's the philosophy. So you don't use your fists. You don't use your mouth to speak not badly about people. You go out there and you prove to people who you are.
Brilliant.
And that just says it all.
Well said. Have you been rowing for a long time, Jane, or yourself, or?
I rowed at World Championships in 1994.
Okay.
My coach was Keith Mabry, and we were one of the 6 girls selected for South Africa to row at Germany in Munich. And we raced our race. And when I got back from Worlds, I found that there was no support for people who would like to continue rowing in under 23s. There was no support for women specifically. And even being a woman rowing in South Africa at that stage, I felt a lot of discrimination and a lot of bias towards men at that stage, because women weren't supposed to be able to row or weren't accepted in rowing in South Africa at that point. We were the first 6 girls chosen, and we had to fight our way through everything to get to where we were going. And when we went overseas, I think we kind of were the forerunners for the rest of the nation. After that, they started having ladies coming into rowing. So it's been a long journey. Shane Bartley's done now. I can see that she's done now. So we've been rowing. I've been rowing, and I've been helping people and coaching people as long as I can and as much as I can. I've never charged a person to coach. I've always just been around and wanted to go and coach people and help people to row properly.
Wow, you're amazing. And this is a row. How does it work with this your group of young people? What is it, a weekly, daily? How does that work? Or did I miss something? My apologies if I did.
No problem. Well, basically, I'm in the UK at the moment, so I'm helping the lady run everything. She's the coordinator in South Africa. Yeah. I had a bus accident 2 years ago with the children in the vehicle with me. And because of everything that was happening, and I needed to get medical treatment and things. And I also had to come live with my family here in the UK. So the lady's been a wonderful star, and so Ciola with the boys. And they've been coordinating the indoor rowing and rowing on water with the children. Basically, with lockdown, I've just been keeping in contact with the children and with Naledi, and we're basically going to start now with the new season going into rowing. So it's going to be quite different for me from this side, using virtual communication. But it seems to be working. We've done 2 regattas now. We're busy doing the second one now. And it seems to be working really well. I still have communication and I can still coach, which is for me amazing. I never ever thought this would be a way of coaching. But yes, so Naledi sees the girls 3 times a week. The boys are currently rowing with another rowing club that I paid for them to go to row at. So they're on the water. For the girls, they're rowing on the indoor rowing because of safety issues. So I don't want to put them in any danger. So they're rowing where it's safe, and it's good for them to continue rowing. We're hoping to go to SA Champs at the end of April, where all the athletes, boys and girls, will be rowing on the water.
Wow. And how often they get to practice on water? That's what I wanted to ask. Going to these regattas.
We basically organize the boats to get to the regatta. At the regatta, we organize the boats to get at the regatta, and they climb in the boats and go and row. We don't own a boat. We don't own a boathouse. We don't own blades. We only own 2 ergos. The one ergo is broken, and that's how we train. The boys, I think, is a bit different. They go on a Saturday to race, or not to race, but to row with the other club. But also it's to do with core exercises as well as rowing and then stretching. So it's very unique and very different.
I could just listen. I mean, this is like what we do, an extreme version of it in a way, but it's obviously a smaller version. Because I could just sit here and listen to you and sit in amazement, like when people talk to ourselves as an organisation and what we do with young people, which is amazing, and we feel so thankful to be part of that. But as well as that, listening to your story, wow. I mean, I just want to sit here and be quiet and just let you talk about what you do and what and how these young people, because obviously, well, not obviously, I'm assuming that the background of these young people, not when I say the background, let me phrase it must be really challenging for them.
If you could just imagine, the children live in a place where, when I went to go work with, I'm a pastor, so when I go in with the other churches and stuff, we go in and we help with what we call Kids Club and with the children, with the other NPOs of the area. And on one occasion, the children, we asked them what good comes out of Duncan Village. And the children said nothing. And they called themselves nothing. And it kind of broke my heart to see that, because they're living in extreme poverty, most of them, where they have single parents, and some of them don't even have parents because they've lost them to HIV. And they're living in houses made of tin. with no money, no finances. And just seeing the children looking after children while the parent goes out to work. You have 8-year-olds looking after 2-3 children in the streets and walking and roaming in the streets. If you go to Champions, my Facebook page, you can see the photos of how many children there are. And we had a Christmas where we're working with Downtown Christian Community Centre, and we had a Christmas there where we were expecting 600 children. And when we turned around, there was 1,200 children that had come for the Christmas party. And we decided to split the gifts and the presents and the food. And we let in the extra children. But when we closed the gates for the other children, and I looked around and I saw thousands standing there just staring to come in. And I thought to myself, no, something's got to change. And then there were all the older children always used to sit around on the outskirts watching the inner children having fun. And then I asked them what the problem was, and they said that they were too old to play games like children. And some of them were smoking, some of them had glue that they were sniffing, some of them were drinking alcohol. And I thought to myself, there's got to be something that's got to change, and we've got to get the children off the streets and back into a place of safety where they can be. And what I did was I then chose a few children that wanted to come and could swim, and we took them to learn how to row. And from there, we built up to what we've got to now. And the lady from a community church, with Pastor Lorette, has helped us. And the lady disciples the children. And she teaches the children's moral principles, values, ethics, and that they are worthy. So the children then bring their families into the church. And from there, the families start changing and start helping each other. And we've even got programs where we help parents with finding work. And we've even had some of the children now starting their own businesses so that they can try and make an income for their families. But obviously, there's no funding that we have at the moment and no sponsorship at the moment. So we're trying to now get everything together to try and do a few applications for the lottery and for a couple of other places that said they could possibly help us. But at the moment, we have absolutely no sponsorships, and we're just relying on what we can raise at the moment for each event. The children are absolutely amazing. Every single one of them, when they first come to rowing, they can't speak a word of English. And I can't speak Xhosa. So they probably laugh at me for saying Xhosa, because it's got these click sounds that they make when they speak, and they say it specifically. Yeah. And the lady could probably tell you better how Xhosa is said. But I work with Naledi, and it's been amazing to have Naledi helping us and working together. And to be able to work with all the MPOs in the area together. And we were hoping to start a homework center as well, where we could get the children to come after school with Wi-Fi, link up and have printing facilities and to do their schoolwork, and have teachers around and social workers around who could sit and help and just see what's going on with the children. But yeah, there's a big plan and a big dream, a massive dream that we hope is going to happen going forward. We've completed our 5-year plan. Now we need to start aiming for our 10-year plan, which is starting to spread out and to break out. And we've got a new coach now who also was coached by my same coach, Keith Mabry. So he has the same philosophy as Keith had. Keith Mabry was also a pastor. And he taught a lot of people in really through the apartheid era in South Africa. And a lot of my friends and rowing colleagues and the people that I row with have come through Keith Mabry's training, philosophy, and had the same ideas as what we've got. So I've got a lot of them on board with us, trying to make a change and to promote not just rowing, but more of a community development change, to bring change to mindsets.
That's what I was going to ask you. Ultimate, what's the ultimate aim? But you've just answered it before I asked the question, actually.
Yeah, it's all about changing the heart and the mindset of people. For me, the greatest leader that South Africa's ever had was Nelson Mandela. He called us a rainbow nation, and I believe that South Africa is a rainbow nation, and that every person should be able to get on with each other because of what we've been through in our past. And having the ability to unite and to change mindsets and hearts, there's a lot of potential that could change going forward. And I think it's going to come through the impoverished communities who need to make that mindset change and that heart change towards helping each other.
Well, with people like you at the forefront, I'm sure that's going to come close to happening. Please, you know, you said one thing. I just wanted to see if I could. I'm smiling when you said about you don't know how you're going to manage to or how you manage or how you're going to manage to coach from over here, virtual. But I'm just thinking, just sitting here and listening to you, if anybody's going to do that, it's going to be you. Okay, you know, because the passion that, I mean, I'm sure we all can just feel it coming out of you. And the young people know you, they can feel that no matter where you are, whether you're close or at a distance from them.
They call me Mama J. I'm like their mom when their moms are not with them.
There you go.
And I keep them accountable and in order.
Yeah.
And I hold them accountable to what they do, whether they're with me or not.
you can feel that. You really can. So it brings a smile to my face. Just thinking that, like, oh yeah, there are people who have that impact on others when they're not there. They don't have to physically be there to still have an influence on them. I message them on a daily basis. I talk to them and I speak life into their lives, and see things that they post on their WhatsApp status or their Facebook status, and I go in and I look and I read, and then I just kind of give advice for them. I don't force them to do anything. I let them choose for themselves, but I give the options of what are available and what the consequences thereof, because obviously you're going to have to live with the consequences of the choices you make. Absolutely. Your Facebook, is it, did you say Champions Facebook? Is that all I would need? Champions Christian Community Center. This is the whole story of how we were planning on doing the Champions Christian Community Center first. But God kind of had his own way and did things back to front. The rowing club just took off. Like I said before, we were working with another rowing club in the area, and things didn't work really as we had hoped, and I landed up deciding to leave rowing altogether because of the issues that I had to face through that other rowing club. And I had the children SMSing me and messaging me and telling me I need to come back and start our own club. And I kind of said to the children, "You're crazy. We don't have a boathouse. We don't have boats. We don't have equipment. It's not going to happen." So I left that, and then the parents started messaging me and saying to me, "Look, the children want to row, so you're going to have to come back and coach them, and we're going to have to start a club." I thought, well, no, I can't do that. I don't have anything. Can't row. It's impossible. How are we going to do this? It's not going to happen. I tried to explain that to the parents. So the parents went to the schools, and the schools called meetings with me. And so we went to the schools, and then I found out what the other rowing club was saying and doing behind my back to the children, and how they were treating the children. And I got so angry that I said, yes, we'll start a champions rowing club because we are champions. And then I had to find a boat for the children to row in for their regatta, which was a week later. And I had to write the constitution and the rules and register within a week. What did these kids say? Oh, by the way, you're registered for a regatta. Yeah, but we don't know how to. What do you say to them? How did they get over that? Well, I just said to them, go home, think about it really, really well, because if we do this, we've got to unite together and do it together, because we can't do this without being in unity and working together. Second of all, I've got to arrange with the people for boat race to see if it's even valid or legal that we can do according to rowing standards. And the third thing is I don't even know how we are going to register a rowing club in a week, because we have to go through Eastern Cape rowing. We've got to go through rowing South Africa. We've got to go through Sashu rowing, and then we've still got to go through the regatta control to get this club registered in rowing. And then I told them all to go home and resign from the other rowing club that they still belong to, because they can't row for that club, because the constitution of their club said they're not allowed to belong to other clubs. And that's one thing that I changed with the Champions Constitution. I allow them to row for any club. They choose which club they're going to row for, when they're going to row, and what race they're going to row. As long as they're rowing, I'm happy. So
we then went and we organized, and then we landed up having basically the whole rowing club from the other club left. So that caused a lot of issues as well, because I never anticipated that happening. I never expected that to happen, and I really didn't mean for it to happen. But it meant that when we went to the race the following week, our boats were sabotaged. So we patched the boats up and we stuck them together with duct tape and whatnot, and fixed all the screws and things up together. But we ended up champions rowing a girls quad and a boys 8, which is the fullest amount you're allowed to row. But we had an excess of athletes that wanted to row the race. So I contacted Red House Rowing Club, who wanted to row the 8 but only had 3 people. So we landed up filling their boats and them joining Red House Rowing Club and rowing as Red House Rowing Club with our athletes. So they all got to row and we were happy.
Nice. A great end to that one. Wow.
So yeah, we did things very differently. Some of the schools have said to us, Jean, you've gone around the back to front way. Normally you start with having boats and blades and a boat house and equipment, and then you find the athletes.
But there's always a first time for everything. So I suppose, you had the passion, you wanted them to see and get the opportunity to do something that they wouldn't get a chance to do. And
it's not about me, and this is what I keep telling everyone. I'm not in South Africa at the moment. It's about the children. It's about the dedication that they have. It's about the passion and the commitment that they have. They come rowing. They walk sometimes 7-8 kilometers just to get there. Then they sit and do a 10-kilometer session on the ergo and go home again, the same distance to be there. They don't have to be there.
No.
They want to be there. They come there because they want to be there. They feel like they belong. They're part of a family.
But you have to take some credit for that, though, because you're empowering them to want to come as well. It's just like, they're not going to go there and the person on the other end who's receiving them there, Well,
I love all the children as if they're my own children, and I encourage them to do the best that they can be. And I believe that every child is a champion. It doesn't matter what sport they do. In the Bible, I'm a very biblical person, and so is champions. In the Bible, there's a verse that says that in Genesis, when God gave the animals to Adam to name them, he called them by their name and they became it. So for champions is that we will call you a champion and you will become the champion. Yeah. It doesn't matter what area of life you're going to be in. You're going to be a champion, either a champion baker or a champion rower or a champion cyclist, but you will be a champion of something.
Positive talking, positive reinforcement now. Yeah. I don't know what else to say to you apart from, I do. One more thing. Are you just overseeing the team, the guys who are participating in this, or are you involved in it yourself? As in, are you going to be doing anything yourself?
I'm currently unable to walk.
Okay.
I had a bus accident with the children in 2019.
You didn't mention that, but I didn't want to elaborate. You don't have to elaborate.
Yeah. I don't have a problem. I'm happy to explain everything that's going on. But at the moment, I have spinal injuries that are being sorted out. I'm told it's not going to be something that's going to be forever, but I just need to work on healing and try and heal so I can do more. And the main aim now is to try and find solutions to the situations that we have, which is trying to keep children rowing and bring more children into rowing. But not only that, with South Africa, with the crime rate and the disadvantaged areas, we need to find a solution to those drug problems and those alcohol problems and poverty problems that need to come. We need to give support to the single parent families who have nothing and or having no support whatsoever. And that can come through the church and it can come through government, but at the moment there's not enough of it being done. So my aim is to try and establish a charity that will take care of things like transportation and membership fees and that sort of thing, that we can move forward doing what we love without having to worry about paying for everything.
You know, on that note, it's taken us right to the end of the session. It's been amazing talking to you. I mean, I'm speaking to you like we've actually got a planned interview, which it obviously wasn't. But you know, talking about, and it does obviously link in with what we're doing with this, with the RTT, Race the Thames, and the fundraising, and getting different people from all over getting involved in it. And it's just great to hear all these different amazing stories, unbelievable stories. I mean, we've had people, as I said earlier on, Isabel and myself work for London Youth Rain, and we've had people we say in London big us up, you know, like, and they're telling us, talking us up and now the great work that we do, and which is fantastic. And I'm not and I will take that on because we do, and we know we do, and it's amazing to be recognised. When I say what I know we do, I don't mean that in a conceited way, but we appreciate that we work with young people, and to a lot of people that's a beautiful thing, which it is to us. We wouldn't be in that world. But it's just great to hear other stories, you know, and other organisations that have come together, and they've just got some just as amazing stories with what the work that they do with young people. So it's just really it's just really great, humbling is the word, to hear these stories, and from an amazing person like yourself as well. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing with us.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I mean, I just wish that I could do more for everybody, and there's not much more I can do than what I'm trying to do now.
You'll find more. You'll find more. You're doing so much. You'll find. You'll find more. And so are you going to be? We're going to be ending this. I'm not being rude or abrupt. Ending the Zoom now because it's till 2:00. Are you planning to come back on with the team or the guys to participate? So when I say to participate, to be on Zoom again over the next couple of days.
Yeah, I'm going to try and come in every time I see the girls rowing.
Brilliant.
For this race, the girls are rowing. We're going to try to organise something on Friday with the boys, with Tom.
Okay, yeah.
Who wanted to row with some of the boys. We're going to try and get the boys pulled in and let them row.
Good to see both.
And try and organise a few of them to come row in with the boys and see how they do.
Great.
Jim, thank you for your time, Jim. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
We'll I'm going to send over some information about NJAC to yourselves as well. I'll get that email to you.
Thank you. That'd be awesome. Yes, I think they're looking forward to it already.
You'd be great. Andre is still going, but we shall keep him going well.
Still cheering for you.
Keep it moving, Andre. Brilliant work, mate.
Okay, so the next live session is on at 5, which is myself and Lawrence again.
Yeah.